Assalamu alaikum. In this Microsoft Excel video, we will go further for the data validation, that how data validation is done in Microsoft Excel. If you can see my previous video in which I have shown how can we make a drop-down list using the data validation option of Microsoft Excel. This option is quite powerful if you want to contain the user to put some specific values in the specific cells if you want to make sure that no wrong information is easily put in your Excel sheets. So you can have data validation in Microsoft Excel, like for example, like in our previous video as I showed that for example we can ask the user to put some specific names, so he will have a list and he can put a specific names. He cannot put any name from his own. So in the same way we can put more rules, or we can validate the data as soon as it is filled in the cell. So I will show you that what kind of options Excel provide for data validation. So just assume that we have this small list where we have some names and we want to have a date, and then we want to have an amount. We want to know that this person was paid how much amount on what date. But I want to be sure that for example this sheet is filled in a specific way, so that in future when I have to do any work on this sheet, I know that the data is fine, there is no wrong data. So I will limit the user that he cannot put any data way beyond some limits. For example, if I'm making this sheet for this year of 2017, or maybe for some specific month of May, so I can ask the user, I can limit the user that he should put only the dates within this month or within this year. Also for amount, I can also limit the user that he can put amount between some specific number. So there are some constraints that we can put on the user data. Let's see how much options we have in Excel. So if I go to data and then data validation. Now this is this is the default data, default validation for all the cells, that the cells can take any value and they should ignore the blanks. But let's see what more criteria we have. So for example, we can limit the user that he can only put a whole number, or we can ask him to put a decimal, or we can ask this data to be associated to a list, for example what we did in our previous example. Also we can ask the user to put a date, and this date can be within some specific month or year or some range we can provide. We can put a time as well. We can limit the text length. For example, we don't want the user to put 1000 letters in a single cell, so we can limit the text length, and then we can have a customized of these as well. So right now I'm interested in date, so I will put it date. The date can be between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, is as per your requirement. But right now if I want it to be within a specific year, then I want to have it in between. Here I will put the date in US format, like 1/1 1st January 2017 should be the start date, and December 31 2017 should be the end date. And we should not ignore blank. He cannot put a blank here. So now if for example the user put a date of 2nd February 2016, we can see that Excel has put an error on it because the date is outside our required date. So if I change this and I make it to 2018, still Excel will give me an error. I can only put a date of 2017. So in the same way for the amount also, I can do a data validation and I can put as a decimal. I can ignore blank. I can put minimum 1 and maximum as for example 10,000 or any number. Now if a user will put 0, it will not be accepted. You cannot put 0. If he put 1000, it will be accepted. If he put, for example, 11,000, still he will be asked to retry because this is outside the limit which is being given to him. So in this way we can make this table with very less errors, and we can ask the user to limit within the limits that we have given to him, and when this data will come to us, we should know that this data don't have a lot of mistakes because we had already done the data validation on it. So I'm sure this video should be helpful for you, and if you have any question or comment on this video, please you can comment, or you can put a question under the comment of this video. And if you have any other comment not related to this video, you can always email me. And please subscribe to my channel, and keep watching, commenting, liking and sharing my videos. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.